So here's a cell phone that's kind of interesting. It is a foldable cell phone that is half the price of a Galaxy Z Fold 4. Now, of course, let's be honest. There's a lot of phones out there coming from Chinese companies that are just pretty much a clone copy, but cheaply made of every single phone on the market. I mean, you go through every single phone on the market, you can find a cheap clone out there. But based on what I understand, this phone's actually not that bad. So it's a Tenco Phantom 5 Fold, and is nearly half the price of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 with a bigger display. So the cool thing about this phone, it does come with 12GB of RAM, which is very similar to what the Z Fold offers. It also comes with a 256GB model and a 512GB model for a higher price. It runs Android 13 out of the box. It does give you a 7.85-inch internal display, which is slightly is bigger and slightly higher resolution than the Z Fold 4, which because they do give speak correctly. They do offer a 120 hertz refresh rate to compare, so bigger inside display, better overall resolution, and same 120 hertz inside of the display. It also claims that it's 200,000 folds, just like Galaxy Z Fold 4. It does have a 5,000 milliamp battery, which is around 700 milliamps bigger than the Z Fold 5 or Z Fold 4. It also has 45 watt fast charging, but no wireless charging. This is where we're going to see certain things get cut. Whenever you look at these, kind of not cheaper knockoffs, but cheaper versions of the Z Fold 4, usually you see the first thing that goes is, of course, the wireless charging. Wireless charging, NFC, maybe possibly, waterproofness. Those are usually things where they cut corners to try to save on money. The OLED display is a 6.42-inch panel at 2550 by 1080, and also hits 120 hertz. So overall, doesn't look that bad. And for cameras, it has a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel 2x telephoto lens, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera. There's a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the inner display with a 32 megapixel on the outer display, which of course the outer display of the Z Fold 4 is a 10 megapixel. So, not bad. Definitely not bad overall wise, and this comes in, I believe, at around almost $1,099, which is not half the price, like nearly half the price. In reality, it's not. It's $700 less, so it's not nearly half the price. It's just pretty much the same price tag we're probably going to see the Galaxy, the Google Pixel Fold come in as, and it's not bad. I mean, one of these things where it's like, if you want to get into the foldable phone market, right, and you don't want to go with the Microsoft Surface Duo method where you go Duo 1 at $300. Duo 2 is actually very expensive right now because it was discontinued. Right now, the Surface Duo 2, I believe, is sitting at a price tag of roughly almost $1,200. It's almost MSRP value. If you try to find it online, you're going to spend almost $1,200 on the Surface Duo 2. But if you want to get into the market and you want to get a very not reliable phone, but I say more structural phone, kind of very comparable to Z Fold 4, then you might start looking towards some of these Chinese knockoffs. And I call them Chinese knockoffs, but reality, they're Chinese phones. The problem with them is pretty clear that a lot of these actually have a lot of bloatware on them, a lot of apps installed on them. Keep in mind, whenever you're buying a phone from China, all your information on that phone has to be sent over to the Chinese government. It's just how their laws work. So there are some buybacks on buying Chinese phones. Not always are they negatives because, Oppo was very successful with all the stuff they did. But I'm interested. I'm definitely interested. A lot of these phones we talk about, though, I like to cover them just to kind of get publicity for them. Just to see how they end up doing in the future. A lot of them fail. A lot of them flop. A lot of them just don't get them, enough backers or enough customers to be able to continue being successful. So a lot of them just end up in the dump, and that's pretty much it, right? But it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening moving forward with this phone. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.